మార్నింగ్ మై డియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్. ప్రతిరోజు మంచి రోజే. రోజులో మంచి ఏమీ ఉండదు, మనం చేసే పనిలోనే మంచి ఉంటుంది. కష్టపడే వాడికి తప్పనిసరిగా విజయం అనేది లభిస్తుంది. లెట్ us learn about nutrition for the 10th class students. To answer one more questions, let us learn some important key points of some concepts. Those are let us learn the first one, CYANOCOBALMINE. CYANOCOBALMINE is B12 vitamin. Vitamin B12. CYANOCOBALMINE. It's synthesized in the intestine by the bacteria. So it is a synthetic compound. The deficiency of the CYANOCOBALMINE B12 leads to anemia. Anemia, the low number of red blood cells in the blood. So it prevents the deficiency of B12. So to treat to the anemia, CYANOCOBALMINE, cobalt, the metal, cobalt is one of the part in the structure of the CYANOCOBALMINE. So this is the vitamin B12. The second one, the photosynthesis equation. Photosynthesis equation. You know that 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O gives, in the presence of light and chlorophyll. The products are C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O plus 6H2O. This is the equation of the photosynthesis. This equation proposed by the CYANOCOBALMINE. This was proposed by the CYANOCOBALMINE. In this equation, these four factors, these two are reactants. These three are products. 6 carbon dioxide molecules, 12 water molecules converted in the presence of light by the absorption by the chlorophyll. These products, C6H12O6 glucose molecule and 6 oxygen molecules, 6 water molecules formed. So this is photosynthesis equation. we may learn the four factors are needed for this photosynthesis: carbon dioxide, water, light, and chlorophyll. The end products of this equation: glucose, oxygen, and water. The third one, light reaction. Light reaction. This means light dependent, it's depend on the light. So, it is light dependent process. Light dependent process. The another name to this light reaction, the scientist Hill, so it's a Hill reaction. Hill reaction, the another name. The another name to the light reaction, Hill reaction. There are many sequences of events occur. That means light absorption and oxygen released, the formation of energy molecules, the formation of energy molecules formed. Those are ATP and ADPH. ATP, adenosine, triphosphate. NADPH, nicotinamide, adenine, adenine, dinucleotide, phosphate, hydrogen. These are energy molecules, and oxygen released. In this process, light reaction, oxygen released. So O2 released, in this process. By the splitting of water molecules by the light. So that means hydrolysis. The splitting of hydrogen, the splitting of water molecule, the oxygen released, it's called as by the light. So photolysis of water, hydrolysis, water, it's splitting, it's called as photolysis of water. photolysis of water. That means splitting of water molecule. Then oxygen released. So these are the events in the light reaction. This reaction occurs in the thylakoids of the chloroplast. Thylakoids. That piles of thylakoids is called grana. So the light reaction occurs in the grana. Grana means the piles of thylakoids. This is the site. And here chlorophyll is also sites of synthesis, photosynthesis. These are the sites of photosynthesis. The another one, the fourth one, dark reaction. Dark reaction. This dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. It is independent, light independent process. It is light independent process. Dark reaction. It's not directly dependent on the light. It's a continuous process 24/7. It's always occurs. So that is the dark reaction. Photons. Photons are minute particles in the light. So these particles contains individually their own energy. Every photon contains its own energy. It's called as quantum energy. Quantum energy. Photons. The sixth one, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are divided into two types, simple and compound, complex. These are divided into simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. These simple carbohydrates are contains one or two sugar molecules. One or two sugar molecules these simple carbohydrates contains, but in the complex carbohydrates they contain is a chain of sugar molecules. So it's a complex. The examples for these two, the complex examples, starch, cellulose, cellulose. The cell wall also contains made up of the cellulose, cell wall in the plant cells. For the simple carbohydrates, sucrose, glucose, fructose, sucrose in the sugar cane. These are all sugars. So simple carbohydrates broken into simple very easily in a short time. But these takes for these complex carbohydrates take more time to break down. So this starch, the storage form in the plants, the starch is the starch is the storage form of carbohydrates in the plants. They can store the food material in the form of starch in the plants. Glucose, the circulating form in the plants. They circulate this glucose to the all cells. So this is circulating form is glucose. The storage form is starch complex carbohydrate. So we learned so many points, key points from these 6 concepts. Thus, CYANOCOBALMINE, B12 vitamin. CYANOCOBALMINE is called as B12 vitamin. It leads to the deficiency of the B12 vitamin leads to anemia. Anemia means low red blood cells low number of red blood cells in the blood. So there is the metal in the CYANOCOBALMINE is cobalt. And photosynthesis equation, there are 4 factors: 6CO2 plus 12H2O, that means carbon dioxide, water, light, chlorophyll, phosphate. These are 4 factors needed. The products are glucose, oxygen and water. The sites of the photosynthesis is the chlorophyll. The sites of the photosynthesis are chlorophylls. And this equation proposed by the C.B. Van Neel, the scientist. So light reaction. Light reaction, that means light dependent process. The other name is Hill reaction. Hill, the scientist. There are series of events are there. The absorption of the light and the releasing of the oxygen from the splitting of water molecule by the light is called as photo. Photo means light. Lysis is a breakdown of water molecule. It's called photolysis of water, the splitting of water molecule. So then oxygen released. And the formation of energy molecules, ATP and NADPH. These are energy molecules. The abbreviation to the ATP, the full form, adenosine triphosphate, and also NADPH, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide phosphate hydrogen. So these are the events. The another one is dark reaction. This light reaction occurs in the grana. light dependent process, Hill reaction. ATP and ADPHs are energy molecules. Grana, the piles of thiolkite is called as grana. So the another one, dark reaction. Dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. It's a light independent process. It's not directly dependent on the light. So it's independent, light independent process. 24/7. It's always going on. Photons. Photons are the minute particles. Every individual particle contains energy. It's called as quantum energy. Carbohydrates are two types, simple, complex. The examples for the simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. The difference, simple carbohydrates contains one or two sugar molecules. These complex carbohydrates contains a series of sugar molecules. So examples for the simple carbohydrates: sucrose, glucose, fructose, dextrose, such type of etc. Complex carbohydrates are starch is the main, and cellulose. The storage form, the food storage in the plants in the form of starch. The food to circulate the food material to all parts of the plant in the form of glucose. So we learned so many key points from these 6 concepts. So let us meet again in the next video. These are very useful to answer the 1 more questions in our examination. All of you make a notebook, make a notes from this video. Let us meet again. Good luck. God bless you.